So I just wanted to take a minute and share something that I thought was interesting. It comes from the Book of Ginger, the album that I made for her birthday last month. And I got a lot of glare on it right there, but anyhow, it's filled with, ginger, of course. But what I wanted specifically to share is how easy it was to pop 15 years forward from the very first letter that I ever wrote to her. And I wrote it actually on Marco Polo, the hotel in the Philippines, Davao, stationery. And it was my very first writing to her. And so I was going to share, if I can find it in here, I was going to share the original and then the now version. And you see here, we've got the original and we've got the now. So, if you'll bear with me, I'll read the two. Dear Ginger, I wanted to thank you for bringing smiles to my face yesterday. I noticed you standing there in your pink sash. As soon as I saw you, your wonderful smile made me want to know more about you. I like you. I like sharing with you. I was proud to be with you yesterday. You made me happy. I wanted to sit with you forever at Jack's Ridge. That park bench was the best seat in the world because I was sitting beside you. You are sweet. You are charming. You are so very beautiful, inside and out. You are special, Ginger. I hope you think we can be special together, maybe. Sincerely, Tommy Lee. So, not exactly, Shakespearean romance, but that was the first letter I ever penned to my wife. So now, I wanted to show just how easy it is to mirror the same thoughts and how spot on I was 15 years ago with what kind of incredible woman I was lucky enough to marry. So now, here we are with how I would say the same letter today to her. Mahal Kong Asawa, I wanted to thank you for bringing love into my life for 15 years. I notice you, no matter what you're wearing. As soon as I see you, I want a hug. Wonderful you still makes me want to know more about you. I love you, Asawa. I love sharing with you. I'm proud to have been with you for 15 years. You make me happy. I want to stay with you forever. Regardless of where we may be, any seat is the best seat in the world when it is beside of you. You are sweet. You are charming. You are so very beautiful, inside and out. You are special, Mahal. I hope you'll stay with me and we together can see how truly special our love and life can be together. Ginger is amazing. Sincerely, Bana Tommy Lee. So they can be very closely matched up. The same emotions, the same thoughts, and they very much so ring true 15 years later. And it is amazing to me. I mean, that's the biggest winner I've ever picked. When I saw Ginger, it was just different. When I saw her, I was like, man, who is this girl? And really all kinds of things went through my mind. Of course, she was attractive, but there was just something else beyond the obvious. And there was just something that made me zero in on her. And but I did. I had thoughts of, wow, this girl has like the features of a model. She's just going to be, wow, this is like a stunner, an eye-catching woman. And man, I was damn sure spot on correct with that assumption, because I told her last night, and it's true. As beautiful as you were then, as pretty as you were, as sweet and young and all that, I would take you today, the way you appear, the you that you are now, over the you then. And that's Lord's truth. I am so blessed. How many people are lucky enough that 15 years into marriage, you know, your spouse looks better than the day you met them. So Ginger's beauty is kind of like the gift that keeps on giving. So, you know, hey man, just you know, keep it up. It's fine with me. There'll be no complaints on my part. But she is, she's more than I could have ever hoped for. She's way more than I deserve. But that's okay. I don't mind being spoiled and having to get cackling and going. So that was a little bit of an adjustment. But her family, they are so wonderful, and they were inviting to me. And her mama would make me pork chops just for me. So she would make them, I guess, American style or whatever. She'd say, you know, it'd be like, ask Tommy if he wants pork chop. And so she did that special for me. And I'll always remember that. And her dad is very soft-spoken, but he's definitely the leader of the family, and you can see it. He's got like a quiet leadership, and it shows. Her sisters are, in their own way, they're all unique and different. But I'll tell you something: all those Acero girls are pretty. There's not an ugly one in the bunch. So I understand when Ginger tells me that growing up, a lot of guys would hang around the house, you know, and not like in a disrespectful way, in a very respectful way, but it's just better. But I did some magazine covers. These petals are from our honeymoon marital bed. So these, I'm actually glad they weren't real rose petals, because they would have never made it 15 years. So these fake rose petals were actually on the first bed we shared together. So, and you hear what I say, and that's what I mean. The first bed we shared together was our marital bed on our honeymoon. Because Ginger, if you're not sure, she's a good girl, and that's part of the reason why I'm with her. She says she's with me because I was a gentleman. I'm with her because she's a classy lady, and I'm very thankful for the woman I have. So I did some magazine covers that are like, you know, me and her. Okay. We've got right there, we've got another magazine cover. Okay. There we go. And one more. Pregnancy magazine. Because hopefully we're going to have two more. But this is Ginger as I first saw her. So, wow. Yep. I still grin. Let's see what I wrote here. A pink sash and white jeans worn by a young lady that would change my life forever. I think I was more nervous than she was when we talked. I could tell she was a keeper. And that's for sure. She was a keeper. So, and here's Tommy Bear. We mentioned in our story. See why I was jealous of that bear? See how big that bear is? And for 8 months while we awaited paperwork and processing, that was laying beside my sweet wife in the Philippines. So I was jealous of that Tommy Bear. You know, hugging my woman, getting hugged by my woman, I should say. Now, we kind of had a second honeymoon a couple of years ago when we went to the Philippines. So, in our story before, you heard about the huge bouquet. Well, this was a pretty good bouquet too. It was a pretty bouquet of flowers that were for our second honeymoon. And then this is a kind of a random thing. When I was out on the truck in Wyoming in the snow, I just put "I love you" in the snow. So, but anyhow, we've got a lot of stuff like that. A lot of, you know, beautiful pictures of Ginger and me together. And I mean, wow. I mean, you just pick a page and you've picked a winner. I mean, she just is, it was hard. In fact, I have an overflow book. This couldn't contain all of the pictures I chose of Ginger. Look how glowing and beautiful she is when she was pregnant with our boys. I mean, just radiant. Now, here she is before her first plane ride. And do you know, she wasn't nervous at all. She got on that plane with me, no problem. And then we got on a little plane and flew over the Grand Canyon. And once again, you know, she was game, no problem. So here she is, feeding me cake at our wedding. And let's see. Here we are a little more. Okay, this is that's when Ginger first got to America, right there. She's with Jackson at the Riverbank Zoo. Okay, and then here we are at medieval times, and I was lucky enough that the knight happened to see her beautiful face in the crowd, so he tossed one of the carnations towards her, and I caught it, and I remember thinking, "Oh Lord, don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it." And the stem actually went between my fingers, and I thought, "Oh, you dropped it," but the head of the carnation caught, and then I was like, "Yeah, man, I got it." So I was like Gronkowski with a touchdown. I wasn't gonna let it go. So then I gave it to her, and then this is her that night. She was beautiful, and so that's a